Good morning. This would have been your first play yesterday, Maria Hamner against Hacker, particularly if you had an in-play stats feed. It was all one way, Maria Hamner. The advantage of having a paid-for feed, you'd have had a momentum pressure index, which clearly indicated that equaliser was pending. Far more than the stats here would suggest, but it was certainly deserved. No shots on target first half, but got going in the second half, Maria Hamner. A trade for those with an in-play stats feed only, really, this one. On a tricky day yesterday. Nice to have a day off on a Monday, particularly when the coupon is not that appealing. Was another red card at 1-1. Unpronounceable name against unpronounceable name in Romania. So don't forget, the red cards can play a part in changing the complexion of the match and then changing the odds so you can profit from it. Hapless Varnamo in the Allsvenskan. Again, we had that 1-1 draw there with Norrköping. Possibilities if you just take on Varnamo based on their standings. All the way down here, 7 points. So despite a generous market for Norrköping, 2.3 the favourite, that draw was potentially vulnerable. And both teams to score and over 2.5 goals in the Superettan as well. Today is another day without any research really, because it's Champions League day today and the Scottish Cup. Plenty to interest us. First check. First legs or second legs? First leg today. Second legs are recommended because we'll have that first leg score, won't we? To act as a trading angle. So today it's all fresh. KUPS in their previous round managed to get a second half goal. 2.55 the favourite tells you everything. Red Star Belgrade should have far too much for Lincoln Red Imps. Noah, like KUPS, took until the second half to score their goal, but don't forget in their first leg, or in their previous match, they were odds-on favourite. They are 3.3 outsiders today against Ferencvaros. Copenhagen in Denmark, the Danish Super League has begun. And I think Copenhagen got a win, didn't they, in their opener? 1.1 favourites today. They are usual Champions League fodder, Copenhagen. Expect them to be a little deeper in this competition. Dynamo Kiev, very little we know about them. With the Ukrainian league not covered much anymore on Betfair. But they have that reputation along with Shakhtar Donetsk. Maccabi Tel Aviv away at Paphos. I would have thought they'd be a bit more competitive than 3.4 outsiders. Czech side Poulsen, usual Champions League side. Malmo playing a Latvian side, odds on away. We know them very well from Sweden. Slovan Bratislava, famous name. Lech Poznan, the season has just begun. And, of course, Scotland's very own Rangers against Greeks Panathinaikos. Very difficult to weigh this one up. It's pre-season for Rangers. Very good in Europe under Steven Gerrard. And I think they had a very good European campaign last year as well. They could shock a few teams, Rangers. So watch out. Be interesting to see how they play today. Conference League, Balkani Floriana, 1.5 home favourites. Again, I can't give you any pre-match angles at all. Sides who are going to rarely meet each other, if ever, from secondary tiers of European football. It's very difficult. England women against Italy women. This is all about the Italians' inability to score that second goal so far. Regularly enough to trouble England. England started off their Euro campaign with a 2-1 loss to France, but then suddenly 4 goals against the Dutch, 6 against the 1.06 as 1.06 favourites against Wales. That's not a surprise. And then a superb come from behind against Sweden. So they have that fighting spirit, England. Both teams have scored in 3 out of the 4 matches so far. And if Italy do score first, I think England have the ammunition to get back. Indeed, both teams have scored in Italy's last 3 matches. And only once have Italy scored 2 goals so far this campaign. That's going to trouble the Italian manager. Just looking to see if the second goal was, 90th minute goal. But It is a semi-final, and as such, treat it like a derby style match. There's not much else I can say. It's one of those coupons today we have to be purely reacting to the in-play stats. And we move on. We've got even more. Obos-ligaen, Egersund against Aalesund, 2.25 the favourite. It gets worse. It's a lower tier league as well. Well, this is another match where I disagree with the market makers. Egersund scoring 2+ goals at home. Aalesund having trouble against the top 7 away from home. So I'm going to go against the market. There's been a bit of a shift from 2.4 to 2.9. Maybe Bet365 knows about any injuries potentially, but on paper, Egersund having the better season. Scottish League Cup has been good, along with the English League Cup and the Irish Cup, for finding some trades. We've got a lot of odds on favourites today. We would note the SPL sides like St Johnstone, Ross County today, Motherwell. They produced some good competitive football in their cup matches so far. Kilmarnock are away at Kelty Hearts. Any familiar names? Dundee FC away at Bonnyrigg, Rose, Ayr and Forfar and Arbroath. So lots and lots of odds on favourites today. I like to see gaps between leagues in cup matches. So for example, Falkirk against Queen's Park. Let's have a look at the head-to-heads and you'll see which leagues they come from. If you go back, that's the Championship for Falkirk, Championship for Queen's Park as well. League Cup form, well, we do have only 2 matches. A loss for Queen's Park and then a 5-0 win against Brechin. And 2 consecutive wins for Falkirk without conceding a goal. So there is only a slim spattering of 2-match form. I'm not really going to be analysing 2-match form for all of those matches. Looks like I'm in for a late one tonight. It is an in-play stats-led day today. The likely start time for me, 4 o'clock today for our familiar friends, KUPS, but unlikely I'll be finding a trade there in a 2.55 first leg Champions League match against a Kazakhstan opponent. So that's all I have to say today, really. It's an in-play stats-led day. I'll see members of footballtradingprofits.com from 4 p.m, probably 5 p.m, if there are going to be any trades. Have a great day, and I'll see members a little bit later.